So, Ryan Garcia knocks out Luke Campbell with a body shot. What was it? The seventh round. So now, all of a sudden, Javante Tank Davis is going to duck him, is going to be afraid to fight Ryan Garcia, King Rod Kid Flash. I'm hearing so many different. Well, you know what? It's only a few people who I listen to now on YouTube. The main person I listen to is myself at the end of the day, but I like to still gather information from my sources that I find to be credible, respectable, incredible, informative, entertaining, education, etc. I just like to watch certain guys. I'm not gonna name no names. I've already done that plenty of times. But when I listen to some of these guys that I've been listening to for years, I don't always agree with them. I tend to disagree. Usually, I feel like iron sharpen iron, strike when the iron's hot, and cotton only make it shine. So a lot of times, people just listen to whoever they agree with the most and roll with that. I've always made sure that I diversify and listen to people I disagree with just as equally as I listen to people that I do agree with, and then everything in between. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, I listen to myself. So, anyways, Ryan Garcia knocks out Luke Campbell, and the first thing you start hearing, because he got dropped in the second round, was you either heard he better stay away from Javante Tank Davis, or he'll get outboxed by Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez's of the world. Then on the other hand, you heard the exact same opposite argument. You heard that's a bad matchup for Javante Tank Davis, being so short with short arms. King Ryan, you know what I'm saying? He's a bad matchup for Javante Tank Davis, and because of Floyd Money Mayweather, he's never going to fight that fighter. Now, I will say this, in my opinion, if by the end of the year, you know what I'm saying, you never know how things are going to go. So I give it, to the end of the year and maybe the beginning of, the next year, and you don't see those fights happening from Javante Tank Davis, then that is officially, that's officially ducking. Because I would say, okay, if he fights a mandatory sometime in the beginning of this year, by the end of next year, or by the end of this year, by the end of 2021, I would expect to see him, in a 50-50 fight. Like, I would expect to see him after fighting Leo Santa Cruz. I would expect to see him fighting a showcase fight, or mandatory. And by the end of that, 2021, I wouldn't see him having any other options. And then King Ryan, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, and things like that. And if you stretch out into 2022 and he doesn't fight any of these guys, then yes, I would definitely consider him not wanting to fight those guys. And yes, I would lend a lot of that in the tutelage and the guidance of Leonard Ellaby, Al Heyman, and Floyd Money Mayweather. But here's the thing: a lot of people always say, well, Money Mayweather changed the game, and it's the Floyd Money Mayweather effect, and he forgot what it's like to be Pretty Boy Floyd. Heard Teofimo Lopez say things like this. You heard all kind of YouTubers say things like this. You heard Showbiz the Adult say things like this, and that's where I kind of go off my own way and listen to my own thoughts, because at the end of the day, I mean, Pretty Boy fought some great fighters, but Floyd Money Mayweather, with the exception of fighting Manny Pacquiao 5 years too late, or not fighting Keith Thurman at the very end of his career, the rest of his fight, Floyd Money Mayweather still fought Ricky Hatton. Floyd Money Mayweather still fought De La Hoya. He still fought Manny Pacquiao. Floyd Money Mayweather, I want to say he was Money Mayweather when he fought Zab Judah. He might have still been Pretty Boy. I'm not completely. I know he turned into Floyd Money Mayweather after he fought De La Hoya, and after that he still fought, uh, some top opponents. At the end of the day, I can't say his last going out fight. He fought Marcus McDonough, fought him twice. Um, I can't say at the end of the day he should have fought Keith Thurman. It would have been nice, okay, but if you at I can say that he ducked out on Keith Thurman, fought Alberto, right? But I hear a lot of people giving Manny Pacquiao a pass if he doesn't fight Spence or Bud, and then he chooses to fight Mikey Garcia. So, it's not good for the goose, good for the gander. If Mayweather could fight Berto instead of Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao cannot fight Spence or fight Crawford and choose to fight Mikey Garcia. So I never look at it like that. I feel like Floyd gave everything to the sport. And I feel like he fought, you know, more champions than the people that you compare him to. And I always felt like Floyd Manny Mayweather had a better career than Manny Pacquiao. And I do get Manny Pacquiao took some losses and he came back, and he just fought Keith Thurman, who was not 100%. Keith Thurman was still coming back from injuries and had a tough fight against Jose Zito Lopez. But anyways, I still feel like Mayweather, even though he didn't take a loss, and everybody likes a comeback story, cool. Just because Mayweather didn't take a loss, somehow that's a blemish on his career. Somehow because he didn't fight Manny Pacquiao when everybody wanted him to fight Manny Pacquiao, and he fought him 5 years too late, and Manny Pacquiao wasn't in his prime. I never understood that argument. For one, Floyd Money Mayweather's older than Manny Pacquiao. We all know that. For two, Manny Pacquiao was still fighting and just beat the likes of Adrian Broner and just beat Keith Thurman, and has a possibility of still fighting Errol Spence, Terrence Bud Crawford, and Mikey Garcia. So that whole Floyd Money Mayweather, is going to cherry pick Gervonta Tank Davis's career and go through that whole blueprint to where he's just fighting a bunch of Leo Santa Cruzes. I don't think it's enough Leo Santa Cruzes and Francisco Francescas out there for Tank Davis to fight and completely dodge a Ryan Garcia, completely dodge a Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson. He has to fight two of those guys. I see him having to fight. If he really wants to stake the claim of being the baddest little guy, he would have to fight and defeat Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia. That's how I see that, right? But at the end of the day, I still don't like the whole argument of all of a sudden it's either a duck or it's a defeat. Like either Gervonta Tank Davis is going to duck Ryan Garcia, or he's going to go in here and knock Ryan Garcia out. We don't know. You know what? We don't know. I don't know. I think it'll be a hell of a fight. I think it's a mandate. Depending on how things map out. I feel like most likely we see Ryan Garcia goes the route of Teofimo Lopez. When you look at the hierarchy of it, Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, is at the top, and they should be gunning for him if they really want to be in a position of king status. But it's still all kind of on an equal playing field, except for Teofimo Lopez. It's still on an equal playing field. I feel like those boys all have a 50-50 shot at beating each other. I feel like Devin Haney can beat Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia can beat Devin Haney. Gervonta Tank Davis can beat King Ryan. King Ryan can beat Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur Stevenson can come in there, beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney might beat Shakur Stevenson. I think they are right now playing with fire and ice. It depends. It's all kind of balanced. Now, Teofimo Lopez is at the top, and a lot of people feel like, who is Teofimo Lopez? They felt like that before he beat Lomachenko. He got a lot of flack, a lot of criticism for having a tough matchup against Masayoshi Nakatani, and then turn around, he KOs Richard Comey and beats Lomachenko. Now all of a sudden he's undefeatable. I'm not buying that either. I like Teofimo Lopez. I like his father too. I think, you know what I'm saying, I like both their mentalities. I like the IQ. I like the boxing style. I think right now he's a little bit more balanced with the knockout power and the boxing ability and the ring IQ, the speed, the reflexes, you know, all of that. But Gervonta Tank Davis, explosive, power, southpaw, short. Like, okay, people say because Ryan Garcia is 5'11", Gervonta Tank Davis is 5'6", then all of a sudden that's just completely an advantage for Ryan Garcia. I don't agree with that totally. I feel like Ryan Garcia has some advantages and Gervonta Tank Davis has some advantages. It depends on who has the most heart. It depends on who has the more dog in them too. You know what I'm saying? It's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight inside the dog. Gervonta Tank Davis can utilize his ability of being shorter to his advantage if he fights the right fight. Just like Ryan Garcia can utilize his abilities fighting tall if he uses it the right way. Both of those guys have the ability to spark each other out. So you make the wrong move, it could be lights out for either one of those guys. Now, when I look at it as far as a point system and outboxing, Ryan Garcia has a little bit more advantages of outboxing Gervonta Tank Davis, leaving him at the end of that stick, you know what I'm saying, and being on his bicycle a little bit, but just the stick and move, stick and move. But Ryan Garcia likes to get in there and bang. Ryan Garcia leaves his head up on a you know what I'm saying, on a tee where it's just begging to get clipped, and he did get clipped right by Luke Campbell. That's not going to be where he just automatically learns from that. It's a good look that he went down and he got back up. That's a heart of a champion. That shows grit, that shows mettle, that shows that determination factor, that dog where no matter what you do, I'm going to show you I'm a champion. That shows all of that. And it's a beautiful thing to see, that gladiator mentality of not about how you get knocked down, but how you get back up. But let me tell you the way I look at it. It's about both. It's about how you get knocked down, and it's about how you get back up, if you get back up. It depends on how you win and how you lose. You can lose. What was old girl from White Men Can't Jump? What was her name? I can't think of her name right off the jump, but you know who I'm talking about. But she was like, you can win and still lose, or you can lose and still win. You know what I'm saying?
Mom, you want to hear them? Here they come. Sometimes when you win, you really lose. And sometimes when you lose, you really win. And sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie. And sometimes when you tie, you actually win or lose.
I hate it when you talk like that. It makes me crazy when you talk like that.
Winning and losing is all one big organic globule.
But Ryan Garcia getting knocked down, getting back up, and winning with a body shot is very impressive against Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell is definitely was a step up match, but most people figured that Ryan Garcia would beat Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell has also been exposed of having a blueprint of being able to be defeated. Nobody got him out of there. Nobody knocked him out. He got knocked down against Lomachenko, but he finished that fight. He had a tough fight against Jorge Linares, but he didn't get knocked out. Ryan Garcia, King Rye, the Kid Flash, was the first person to knock out Luke Campbell. But he wasn't the first person to show a blueprint of Luke Campbell being able to be defeated, physically or mentally. We know Like Ryan Garcia went into that fight, going into that fight, knows there's a way to defeat Luke Campbell. I can break Luke Campbell because he's been beaten twice. And like Mayweather said, if you accepted defeat once and you accepted defeat twice, and I'm paraphrasing, but you can be defeated once you have been defeated. Your mind can go there. Your mind can allow your body to go there once you've accepted defeat. Like they say, your victory has defeated you for some people. Well, defeat has defeated most people. Most people suffer from defeat after they've been defeated. Mentally, it's hard to rebuild. And you got your exceptions. You get credit for like Anthony Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz and then starting to rebuild himself. You get credit for that because you learn from your loss. You learn from your defeat. That was a good thing. You can also learn from a win, or you can learn nothing from a win. You can win like a Deontay Wilder win. You can win and learn nothing and then start to fall in love with your flaws instead of fixing them, right? So my point is, Luke Campbell has accepted defeat twice. Ryan Garcia knows that. So even when Ryan Garcia gets knocked down, he can still have it in his mind, in which he proved. He still got it in his mind that this guy is not better than me. You know what I'm saying? I felt his power. I tasted his power. It clipped me, caught me off guard. I was cold. I was trying to walk him down, and he clipped me, got back up. Now I showed the heart of a true warrior and planted my feet, put the man down with a body shot. That's cool. But he has shown that he can be knocked down. He hasn't shown that he can be knocked down by somebody that has the same power as Gervonta Tank Davis. But Gervonta Tank Davis has to land that power too. You dig what I'm saying? So it's still kind of balanced out. You have weaknesses and benefits. It depends on who takes advantage. It depends on who exploits that person's weaknesses, who use their weaknesses as strengths. If Gervonta Tank Davis can use the weakness of him being shorter, that means Ryan Garcia might have to punch down to get to him. You've seen Gervonta Tank Davis get down very low. Now I know he does a little bit of a little, fugazi shoulder roll sometimes and follows up with an uppercut, but he also gets down real low. And sometimes I seen him do a screw shot like a missile scud, and he can hit Ryan Garcia with a body shot. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia is 5'11". That can be a good thing if he keeps him at the end of the jab, or it can be a bad thing if he let Gervonta Tank Davis get inside of his wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? How good of an inside fighter he would be with that hook if he can't hit Gervonta Tank Davis. It levels out. It'd be a great fight. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, Gervonta Tank Davis is ducking. He's afraid. We'll see. Time will tell. Or Gervonta Tank Davis automatically knock out Ryan Garcia. Look what Luke Campbell did when he clipped him in the second round. We don't know. We'll see. Ryan Garcia might have learned a lot from that shot, and he might tuck his chin a little bit better. Because I seen him start to put up that guard like this when he was walking Luke Campbell down. You see what I'm saying? And that'll leave his body open. So we don't know if Gervonta Tank Davis might change his whole game plan as far as you have to fight every fighter. Styles make fights. You have to fight every fighter differently physically, and you have to fight every fighter different mentally as well. So anyways, Luke Campbell was a great, formidable opponent, but he's been beat by Jorge Linares. He's been beat by Lomachenko. So Lomachenko losing to Teofimo Lopez inherits Lomachenko's victories, right? But at the end of the day, we always is like, we want the best fighting the best. We want the biggest names fighting the biggest names. That's why we want Terrence Bud Crawford versus Spence. That's why we want Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford. But they just names. Anything can happen. They can lose to a no-name guy. Tyson Fury almost lost to Otto Wallin. Anthony Joshua did lose to Andy Ruiz, who wasn't on anybody's radar. He had already lost to Joseph Parker. So, yeah, we want to see Gervonta Tank Davis fight Teofimo Lopez. We want to see Devin Haney mix it up. We want to see all those top guys mix it up. Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. We want to see all that matchup. We don't want to see no ducking. That's for damn sure. We don't want to see nobody duck. Like, that's why I'm saying I don't see Gervonta Tank Davis having that many opponents where he can duck out on Ryan Garcia or Teofimo Lopez. Vice versa. Teofimo Lopez has a little bit more options because he can go up in weight. You know, he's been calling out your Josh Taylors of the world, your Jose Ramirez's of the world. He can go out there and call out, you know, the Rougarou, Regis Prograis, and things of that nature. But me personally, I would still like to see him stay down and mix it up with Gervonta Tank Davis. I think that'd be a great matchup. Teofimo Lopez against Ryan Garcia. That'll also be it'd be a great matchup. I feel like they both have advantages and disadvantages. Ryan Garcia has that hand speed. Teofimo Lopez is going to be hard to beat. I don't feel like he gets enough credit. I feel like his skills and his abilities are underrated. You know what I'm saying? He is getting credit after he beat Lomachenko, but at the end of the day, I still feel like we haven't seen the best of Teofimo Lopez. We haven't seen the best of Gervonta Tank Davis. We haven't seen the best of Devin Haney. Devin Haney, to me, he didn't have a good showing with Gamboa. I don't know if that was, you know, just mentally. Matter of fact, I kind of want to take that back. Devin Haney had a great performance against Gamboa. The only thing is, like I said, you can win and still lose. You can lose and come out still looking okay. You know what I'm saying? You can lose and come out on the other side victorious. Like Devin Haney outclassed, outboxed, whitewashed Gamboa. But because he fought Gamboa after Gamboa lost by knockout to Gervonta Tank Davis, Devin Haney comes and outboxes him for 12 rounds. That's not a good look. He won, but in a way, he still didn't look that good. He still looked like vulnerability. He still looked like he was exposed for a lack of power or a lack of killer instinct or a lack of being able to close out the show. You did what I'm saying? Just like who was that? No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go like the Anthony Joshua knocking out Pulev route, even though that's what he was supposed to do. That's what he did. Anyways, I want to compare it to Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell hasn't been knocked out. That's why the Ryan Garcia knockout looks great, because he hadn't been knocked out. You know what I'm saying? When Ryan Garcia knocked out Fonseca the way he did, it looked great. He did it faster than Tank did. Tank knocked out Fonseca too, but look at the way Ryan Garcia knocked him out, right? That looks good. But that's still not to say we can take him and compare him and say, well, you know, Ryan Garcia knocked him out in a more dramatic fashion. He knocked him out faster than Gervonta Tank Davis did. Because if we went that route, then we have to look at the same route and say, you know, Deontay Wilder knocked out Dominic Breazeale in more dramatic fashion and faster than Anthony Joshua did. Therefore, Deontay Wilder beats Anthony Joshua. We can't do that. Styles make fights, and it matters when you win, how you win. It depends on if the fighter has been defeated. You know what I'm saying? What if Luke Campbell was undefeated when he fought Ryan Garcia? What would that fight have looked like at that point? We don't know. So that'd be speculation. That'd be us coming up with hypotheticals. And that's why I can't just jump to one conclusion and jump to another conclusion and jump to another conclusion. I'm not gonna go on the conclusion. I'm gonna wait to see how it all plays out. Like, I can't jump to the conclusion that Gervonta Tank Davis is just gonna duck everybody because of Floyd Money Mayweather. Even if I was to believe that, I can't land on that as a conclusion. We don't know until we know. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know who will win the fight if and when the fight ever happens. And we can look at Floyd Money Mayweather and see that he does, and Leonard Ellaby and Al Heyman, we can see that they're trying to build Javante Tank Davis into this superstar, and they always said we got a route we want to take him. Like there was points where, they didn't throw Javante Tank Davis in there with Lomachenko. Maybe they learned from that mistake because now maybe they feel like he could have won. You dig what I'm saying? So we don't know. I don't know personally. I don't know personally whether or not Javante Tank Davis wins against King Rye or loses. Or if they fought 3 or 4 times, who would win three out of four? Who would win, what I'm saying, 2 out of the 3? I don't know. I would love to see it. That's all I'm saying. I don't even know who would win between King Ryan and Devin Haney. They fought, from what I hear, was like 5 or 6 times, and it kind of matched out even. And that was in the amateurs. You see what I'm saying? So we don't know if Devin Haney was to fight Ryan Garcia today, even though based off of what have you done for me lately, even though based off of that, most people are going to lean towards, Ryan Garcia because he just knocked out Luke Campbell with a body shot, and Devin Haney just had a, 12-round decision against Gamboa, who's been knocked down, 50 times and was knocked completely out by Javante Tank Davis, ruptured his Achilles heel, and who's old and broken. He's an old and broken fighter, so they felt like Devin Haney, being a young lion, should come in there, and that should be food. You should be eating him up. You should have ripped him into. You should have devoured him. He should have ripped him into parts and devoured him, and he didn't. He played with his food. He pretty much let his food. If it was a lion versus a, antelope or a gazelle, the gazelle pretty much got away unscathed. You ever see on the National Geographics with a lion going there and he almost get the kill? He just swiped him flipped him around, grabbed him, but he didn't get that jugular, and somehow that animal got away and lived to see another day. That's what Devin Haney just did. He beat him up. He poked. He He pushed him around. He knocked him. He pushed him all around the ring, but he didn't destroy him, devour him. And knockouts matter. Knockouts, to me, they matter, and it's not a good look for Devin Haney that he didn't knock out Gamboa. But that doesn't mean that he goes in there with King Ryan and loses. That's a chess match. That is a chess match. You know what I'm saying? It depends on who uses all of the ammunition the right way. It depends on who makes the right moves at the right time. Depends on who's going to get checkmated. Or it might be a stalemate. It might be a draw. Between all of those guys, it might be a draw. Right now, all I know is the top dog is Teofimo Lopez. And to me, he's the hardest person to beat because he has a better, in my opinion, he has a better combination of all of the skills and attributes. He has the power and he has the boxing balanced out the way Javante Tank Davis just has the power. Not to say he just has the power, but he's been just more of a knockout artist. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney has more of the boxing. Not that he can't knock people out. He's knocked people out too, but he's shown more of being a boxer. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Teofimo Lopez is in the middle. He's not as powerful as Tank Davis. He's not as skilled as Devin Haney as far as boxing, but he has a better combination of both to be a more complete fighter. And King Ryan is right there with him too, as far as power and boxing ability. Shakur Stevenson as well. Then you got to start going into the resumes and who fought who. And when you start doing that, then it's really up to speculation because styles make fights. And nobody, until you come and prove yourself to be somebody, all those guys, if they make the wrong move, a pawn can become a king